What a game that was. Newcastle against Manchester City. The last game was really good, and this one was even better in my eyes. Really good game. And it started off with a goal in the very early minutes of the game, and it was a goal to Newcastle United. However, it was offside. It was way offside, and unfortunately it led to the injury of the Manchester City goalkeeper, so he had to go off and get substituted. However, from that point on, Newcastle had a really good start to the game. However, then Manchester City started to come in on it, and they managed to score after 26 minutes. Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva's been one of those players who, kind of goes under the radar a little bit. There are other players like Haaland and De Bruyne that tend to pick up all of the accolades, but he's a really good player, and he scored a really good goal to make it 1-0 to Manchester City. And at that point, Manchester City were playing the ball around. They were penning Newcastle back in their own half, and I was a little bit concerned that this might be the beginning of a goal rout for Manchester City. However, it did stay at 1-0 for quite a while until the 35th minute, and that was when Alexander Isak made a fantastic goal. Really good goal from Alexander Isak. Really good strike. Followed 2 minutes later by another good strike by Anthony Gordon. How he got it in from that angle, I really don't know. Absolutely amazing curling shot into the back of the net. That made it 2-1 to Newcastle United, and it went into half time at that. And I was really gobsmacked. Newcastle came back from nowhere. They were really pegged back, really fought hard to get back into the game, and they were winning. It was then, it was 2-1 to them, and you had to think at that point, where's this game going to go? Because it was going one way than the other. Second half, and Manchester City again tried to put pressure on Newcastle, who, to their credit, really did defend really well at times. They really, they were set up really well. They were worked hard as a team, and kept a lot of what Man City was trying to do at bay. Unfortunately, on 74 minutes, Kevin De Bruyne came on just before that and had a free kick which went over the bar. But then just after that, he then took a very good shot at goal, and that went in. It was more like a pass, really, I guess, into the side of the goal rather than anything else. It was a really good goal considering that he's been out for a long time. And that made it 2-2, and at that point I would have taken the point. I would have been happy for this game to have been 1-1, because it was so hard fought, and I thought neither team really deserves to lose this game, even though Manchester City were on top. I thought Newcastle battled really hard, and I thought they deserved to get a point out of it. Unfortunately, right at the very dead end, 90 plus 1 minutes, Oscar Bob came in, and it was a lovely little shimmy round the goalkeeper, put it in the back of the net, and that made it 3-2 to Manchester City. And you could see how important it was for Pep Guardiola, because he celebrated like he'd won the league. That shows you how important this game was to Manchester City. And Newcastle, I really do think that they played incredibly well. I mean, if you look at the stats on paper, it looks like they didn't, because it's got 27 shots to Man City to Newcastle's 12, 11 on targets to Newcastle's 5, 73% possession to Newcastle's 27, and the list goes on. However, Newcastle put a huge amount of fight into that game, and they were playing some really good football at times and catching Manchester City on the break numerous times. I think that Newcastle can really hold their heads up and say they've played a fantastic game of football. And even though they lost, I think that really it should have been odds even. I think there should have been a point each of that game. Let me know what you think down in the comments section, guys. Man City fans, Newcastle fans, let me know what you thought of the game. Do you think that it was worthy of a point each, or do you think that actually on balance Manchester City could have, should have won it? Let me know down in the comments what you think, as always.